Hello, students. Greetings to you all. Hope you're all fine and safe. And here is a small introduction to you all about 10th standard science. In 10th standard, just like your ninth and earlier classes, you will be learning physics, chemistry, botany, and zoology. And here in 10th standard book, you have totally 23 units. That is, you have 23 chapters. Out of 23 chapters, the first 6 chapters are from physics. So 1 to 6 you will have physics. The next 5 chapters are from chemistry. 7 to 11 is chemistry, and from 12 to 22 you will be learning biology, and the 23rd chapter would be your computer science chapter. So you will be learning physics, chemistry, botany and zoology simultaneously. When it comes to evaluation, your exams will be for 75 marks. Your question paper will have questions for 75 marks. So your theory exam is for 75 and the 25 marks is for your practicals. So out of this 25, 5 marks will be allotted for your record notebook and 20 marks for the practicals that you perform. So this is the evaluation pattern for 10th Samachir Public Board Examination. So all the best students as you start learning. Begin with full spirit and pray that God should help you throughout the academic year. Thank you.
Dear children, greetings to you all in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. I am a science teacher, Mrs. AJ Shiba. I am very happy to teach you through this online classes. So please children, take down the notes and learn the lessons now and then. Shall we go to the class now?
Then I'm going to take first lesson in physics. Before we start the lesson, let me give a small introduction about it. In 9th standard, you have learned more about rest, motion, types of motion, force and its effect. Force is nothing but a push or a pull. I hope you all remember all these things. Now, in 10th standard, you are going to learn about the causes of motion and also its laws. The lesson is laws of motion. Before we get into the lesson, you must know few terms related to this. First one is mechanics. Mechanics is a branch of physics that deals with the effects of force on bodies. So this mechanics is again divided into two types. One is statics, another one is dynamics. Statics means rest, whereas dynamics means motion. Dynamics means motion. This dynamics again divided into two types. One is kinetics, another one is kinematics. Kinetics and kinematics, they both deals with the motion of the object, but one considering the cause of motion, that is kinetic, the other one without considering the cause of motion, that is kinematics. Let me give an example. We all would like to watch cricket match in television. Our focus will be only on the ball, whether it goes to boundary or six or into the fielder hand. So here our focus is only on the motion of the object. So that is the kinematics. But few people sitting in the commentary box, they focus on the velocity of the ball, the speed of the ball and the angle and so on. Here they are focusing on the cause of the motion. So that is kinetics. I hope you all very well understood about kinetics and kinematics. The next topic is force and motion. Under this topic, we are going to see the ideas given by two scientists about the causes of motion. The first one is Aristotle and the other scientist is Galileo. First, let us see the statements given by Aristotle. According to him, the motion of physical bodies, whatever it may be, is of two types. One is natural motion and another one is violent motion. First, let us see the natural motion. The other name for natural motion is force independent. Natural motion dependent on nature of the object. For example, if we throw a ball, it falls down. The nature of the ball is falling down. A cloud floats because it's light. A smoke rises into the air. So here natural motion depends on the nature of the object. The next one is violent motion. The other name for violent motion is force dependent. Violent motion was the opposite of natural motion. Objects at rest could not move by themselves. It had to be pulled or pushed. For example, ship being pushed by wind. Here, the force of the wind makes the ship to move. So, the wind force is considered to be a violent force. So, that's all about natural motion and violent motion. The third point given by him is when two different mass bodies are dropped from a height, the heavier body falls faster than the lighter one. For example, you take two balls of same size, but one made with iron and another with plastic. If we drop these two balls from the same height, you could observe that the heavier ball falls faster than the plastic ball. So that was the last statement given by Aristotle. I hope you all understand the statements given by Aristotle. Now let us see the ideas of Galileo. He had given four statements. In first statement, he says that the natural state of all earthly bodies is either the state of rest or the state of uniform motion. For example, some earthly bodies like trees, buildings, towers, rocks, they are at the state of rest on the surface of the earth. And some bodies like car or vehicles, the motion of a car moving with a constant velocity is an example for uniform motion. So Galileo says that the natural state of all earthly bodies is either the state of rest or the state of uniform motion. The next statement given by him is a body in motion will continue to be in the same state of motion as long as no external forces applied. For example, a moving bus will continue to move as long as no brake is applied.
The third statement given by Galileo is when a force is applied on bodies, they resist any change in their state. This property of bodies is called inertia. Let me give an example. Suppose you are lying on the bed. If your mother says to do some work, immediately you won't do it. The body wants to continue to be in the state of rest. That means it takes few seconds to get up because your body resists to change its state from rest. So this the character inside a body, that is the inherent property of body, is called inertia. Last statement given by Galileo, when dropped from a height in vacuum, bodies of different size, shape and mass fall at the same rate and reach the ground at the same time. It means that if you drop two bodies, for example, one is an iron ball which is heavy in mass and the other one is a feather which is very light in mass. If you drop both the bodies from a height, they both reach the ground at the same time, but it should be done in a vacuum room. Vacuum means a room without air.
The next topic given in your book is inertia. This topic is very important from exam point of view. I have already explained about this. So let us see the definition given in your textbook. The inherent property of a body to resist any change in its state of rest or the state of uniform motion unless it is influenced upon by an external unbalanced force is known as inertia. The inherent property means the character inside a body. So, the inherent property of a body to resist means trying to stop something. To resist any change in a state of rest or the state of uniform motion is known as inertia. Let us see the types of inertia. There are three types of inertia: inertia of rest, inertia of motion, and inertia of direction. Now let us see about inertia of rest. The resistance of a body to change its state of rest is called inertia of rest. Children, every year we used to go for one-day trip, right? The whole year we would wait for that particular day, because that day we would have a lot of fun. Now, I want you all to recall that day. At 8 o'clock, many buses would stand inside the campus. As soon as you enter inside the bus, you all try to find place for you and for your friends. Now you sit and start to chat with your friends. Now you are in the state of rest because you are sitting in a seat. By 9 o'clock, when the bus suddenly moved, you all lean backward naturally. I hope you all would have that experience, right? This is because you are in the state of rest and your body would like to continue in the same state, that is state of rest. Okay, this is the inertia of rest. After few minutes, when the bus is out of campus, no one would sit on the place. You all would stand and start to dance. When the sudden brake is applied, you all would go and fall in the forward direction. I hope you all had that funny experience. This is due to inertia of motion. The resistance of a body to change its state of motion is inertia of motion. Okay. Next we see about inertia of direction. The resistance of a body to change its direction of motion is called inertia of direction. Now you think you are inside the theme park. You would have many rides inside the theme park, and most of the ride would be in the rotational motion. So whenever there is a sharp turn while rotating or riding the ride, you tend to lean sideways. So this is due to the inertia of direction. So I hope you all understand inertia of rest, inertia of motion, and inertia of direction. Some more examples are given in your book. Let me read that. An athlete runs some distance before jumping because this will help him jump longer and higher. This is an example for inertia of motion. The next one is, when you make a sharp turn while driving a car, you tend to lean sideways. This is an example for inertia of direction. The third one, when you vigorously shake the branches of a tree, some of the leaves and trees are detached and they fall down. This is an example for inertia of rest.
Okay children, today's class we have learned about few terms like mechanics, statics, dynamics and its types. Next, we came to know about the views given by the two scientists, Aristotle and Galileo, about motion. Next, we learned the most important topic, inertia, its types and its examples.
As an assignment, I am going to give only one question to learn. That is, define inertia and explain the types of inertia with suitable example. Please learn this question and write and see. Thank you.